flames of the divine. Last session, the party recuperated after their harrowing journey into the catacombs. They collected themselves, saw to some personal business, and got themselves a much needed good night's sleep. But while that was going on, and Heaven had yet another nightmare, where she saw her city burn to the ground. And Silo noted this and heard a familiar voice. It Heaven wears. Off. So, Heaven, you wake up and you see gripping your necklace. Yes, the floor is yours.
You cut out a bit, but basically what he said is, Evan, you wake up and Sila's holding your necklace.
The floor is yours.
Dream?
Sorry. My headset wasn't on.
Oh.
Anyway, Heaven looks at Silo, then to where Silo's hand was. She raises an eyebrow and says to her, I know you're cute and all, sweetie, but I prefer the company of men.
Silo blinks a little bit as she's just startled and overall and shaken. And she just lets go of the necklace and huffs a bit. Her mind is somewhere else right now. It's clear. She just mentions, I hope you're awake. You were having a bad night dream.
I'm awake now. Oh, why are you grabbing my talisman?
Silo pauses and finally she spoke. I heard something and I thought it was from the talisman.
Heaven keeps quiet, allowing Silo to continue.
She doesn't.
All right. What makes you think it came from my necklace?
I thought I heard something from the necklace is all, and I wanted to investigate a little bit more. Magic items is not too far out of reach with that.
Heaven just decided that, you could have just woken me up and asked if you could just, examine it.
It sounded panicked, so I wanted to investigate it first. And I was trying to wake you up to begin with.
Heaven holds the talisman to Silo. Well, go ahead and check it out.
Silo looks at the talisman, and she asks a question. What is a lie?
You get no response.
She simply shakes her head. It's silent now.
Meanwhile, Heaven raises an eyebrow. That is a weird question. What is a lie?
I heard something similar to that. as if it was someone I knew.
Heaven shrugs her shoulder and puts the talisman on the nightstand next to her, if there is one. Well, nightmares pass, and I'll see about what happens if I'm not wearing it while I sleep. If you're thinking it might be the cause of my nightmares.
It is possible. I can't guarantee anything right now. So if the dream is the nightmare, then maybe I'll do a fortune to see what the source of it or the meaning behind it is.
Heaven is curious, and she sits up and crosses her legs. You mean palm reading or tarot reading?
I know I specialize in tarot reading. However, I did dabble in palm reading. The source of a dream, regardless of the reading, is based off of depends on the person and depends the reason behind it, if that makes sense. Only a fortune can read into a little bit more of it.
All right, just tell me what you need.
Alrighty. So thinks for a moment, and then she goes and grabs her deck of cards. First off, I would like a description of the dream.
Heaven begins to explaining detail, but before she could say anything, she points out something. First, I should let you know that our religion is pretty different. We do not worship Vienna. Our goddess of magic is one that we have been associated with for generations, if not the beginning of time. And I can't remember the god's name. Dang it.
It's Artune.
Artune, okay.
Yeah. So,
But
Silo, that name is not ringing a bell for you.
Okay.
basically, our pantheon includes the goddess Artune, and when Virna replaced her, nobody in our kingdom was happy about it.
Huh.
And with these dreams, I see her like raising the capital to the ground. Everything is in flames. DM, what were the color of the flames?
And the flames consuming the capital were purple.
Okay, thank you. The flames were of a purple color.
Okay. I think I got a general idea what I need to work with. She would draw 3 cards. Now, there's always a meaning behind a dream, whether it's present or if it's actually hidden. And in this case, it seems like there's a hidden meaning behind your dream. Whether it's related to the city or it's just about you is unknown.
Heaven internally sweats in anxiety.
With that said, are you ready?
Heaven nods.
She placed the 3 cards back into the deck and it starts shuffling. And asks you to cut them. To cut the deck in half.
Heaven does.
So first off, the first card will be related to how it is to your life, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And we got. Oh man, I did not prepare for a tarot card reading. Sorry. You might want to cut to someone else for a little bit. I gotta look it up again. There's a lot of cards here.
You're the only two awake at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, take all the time you need. I am actually scrambling to get something to take notes with.
Okay.
You don't need to scramble to take notes. We record the session, remember? You can always write it down later.
Yeah, but sifting through that it just takes time.
We are exactly 12 minutes into the stream. There you go.
I do not have the cards with me today. Actually, I do have some cards with me today. Okay, I'm ready. So, she didn't draw us the first 3 cards. I need to have my own personal tarot card at this point. 64, 59. And the first card shows the 4 spears for dream. It's basically that tells me here that it's escapism. You are running. You're running from something or someone in particular. And this is related to your life. Maybe you're lying to yourself, in a sense, about why you're traveling to begin with.
Heaven raises an eyebrow. I haven't said anything, but I am honestly not lying. Do you wish for me to explain why I'm journeying?
As I recall, you barely mentioned something to me and I overheard it. Was something about water for your country, correct? What was the reason?
Heaven, Heaven thinks for a moment before she decides to explain. My country's been in a century-long drought, and I'm one of the few adventurers that my pharaoh has sent in order to find a solution to the problem. At this point, we're just trading valuable resources for just even a drop of fresh water. The only other water source we have, aside from what we trade for, is the salty seawater.
And then you got to cleanse out the water to even drink it, which is possible. It takes a little bit of work.
Yes, but I've been out for a year and I still haven't found a solution or even figure out what the cause of the drought is. There are theories, but we need a definite answer in order to find a solution for the problem.
Then let's look at this card in different meaning and different light. Let's see that this card is an escape, but it's really just talking about your journey, trying to find the goal rather than just running from it. So that is relation to what the dream is about. But why is it revolving around your city? That's only up to you to decide.
Well, go ahead.
Secondly, the dream itself, never view it as face value. There's always a message behind it, especially something that's this strong and this powerful. So think hard about what it is that you're trying to accomplish and think about why that dream was there.
Well, it's mostly for the survival of my people, especially my friends, my mother, my two brothers. It'd also bring my family great pride and prestige if I come back with a solution, that a long-term solution.
Very well. Let's
But
go on
it's
to the next card.
but to point out, it's mostly for survival.
Right. I understand. Survival is always important as the base of everyone's like future. So for now, let's go on to the next card. And she flips over the next card and shows a Queen of Cups. It's a divine card. This card tells me of like calmness, and intuitive. It's a state of mind rather than actual like lesson, which this card on this order tells me this is what you'll need to learn from this to really take in the dream a little better. I know it's a nightmare, and I know it's harsh and it's scary to see it, but you need to view your surroundings a little bit more to get the hidden meaning behind it.
Heaven thinks for a moment. So I should sleep through the nightmare uninterrupted and just watch where this is taking me?
Not necessarily. So, as it is a scary nightmare and it does awaken more of the height senses of the mind, you have to view the dream more, and it's hard for a person because it's hard for the mind to be able to accept the dream, but you're going to have to understand what is really happening behind the dream. There's more than what you're seeing.
Heaven doesn't say anything but does contemplate.
And lastly, the last card will show me the answer you're waiting for. And as Scylla reaches for the last card to flip it, it actually catches fire.
What color is the flame?
I'm going to say it's red.
Okay. Well, I bet that doesn't happen often. Heaven replies as she uses prestidigitation to put out the fire.
Well, I'm about to give me a new deck of cards, but suppose it doesn't. That's actually real odd.
Is the card readable?
She looks over the card. It's ash. It's completely just a pile of ash right now.
Heaven groans as she places her head in her hands. The gods must really hate me if the answer is burned.
It's a truth that I can't read into yet. That's probably what the answer is right now.
And I suppose it wouldn't make a difference if you tried palm reading instead.
I'm not an expert on that, sadly. I mainly do tarot.
All right. I guess my journey continues then.
That much is true.
But if it focuses around the dream, Heaven she rubs her temples. Is there like an expert on dreams that we can speak to?
Maybe a druid. That's a maybe. I don't know any druids about that though.
Well, maybe tomorrow I can ask if there are druids nearby.
I would check the temple. My family forced me to go there a lot of times. The only reason I even knew that about that.
Heaven is a little conflicted. It sounds like a good idea, but as I stated before, my people are not exactly fond of Virna, and, well, going to a temple that has all the gods, including her, I don't know, I feel like as soon as I step in, I'd be I'd be zapped or burned to cinders if I just being there. Just because my people don't exactly care for Vienna because we see her as a usurper.
Hey, well, Silo, go ahead and roll a history check.
Okay.
That's enough. Yet you happen to know that lots of people don't like Fiona.
Well, considering
Like-
the temple is closed down right now, I assume that a lot of people in the country doesn't like Vienna in particular.
Well, Dan, can I talk a little bit about, why they don't like Vienna?
Roll religion to see if you know all the details. Because, like, again, like, you. Okay, yeah, because like most people from your country generally know Vienna bad, Artun good. Like anything beyond that requires like at least some form of religious education. I'd say you know though with that roll, yes.
Well, in our religion, Silo, we believe that our pharaoh, that is the kings of our country, are descendants of Artun, and making them god kings, specific to be more specific, especially since the pharaoh himself is a celestial. Excuse me. So when Virna usurped Artun, it's like we've been deprived of our god, and the pharaoh lost some of his divine power.
Interesting. Zilla looks rather contemplated about that. If it helps, Heaven, let me wear the necklace when we go to bed tonight. I'll give it back to you. And see what happens.
Heaven hands her the necklace. Is there any way I can wake? Do you need me to wake you if you start, floating 10 feet from your bed, or?
No. Whatever happens is my own consequence. So if I do get nightmares or if anything like that, do not wake me.
All right. Well, all right then. Just if need be, let me know if you need an exorcist.
I will attempt to.
All right, then. Heaven curls up, thanks Silo, and then goes back to sleep.
Sela nods, and she looks over to the necklace for a little bit longer before looking at the time, seeing what it is, and if it's really late, she'll go back to bed too. Hello?
Okay, so fast forward to the morning. So who wakes up first?
I can wake up first. Is Silo still asleep?
I would be. I'm a heavy sleeper.
All right, Heaven quietly gets out of bed and gets changed before quietly closing the door, putting a "Do Not Disturb" sign on the doorknob. Before quietly making her way to Talos's room and gently taps the door.
All right. Well, Talos is also a bit of an early riser, and yeah. After the tapping at the door, he says, "Just a moment."
Heaven
And
cringes when he calls it out, like, "Please don't wake her up. Please don't wake her up."
and he opens the door, and he's in his usual tunic, like he to just relax around the house, as you've seen him put on a couple of times. But something's kind of noticeably different about him today. Mainly in that you notice whenever the light either a light from a lamp or candle or some such, or even just the sun, his fur seems to shine with an almost bronze-like sheen now.
I'm sorely tempted to make a shipping joke right now.
Yeah, well done.
Talos, you now feel permanently just a little bit damp.
This is certainly going to have to take some time to get used to, but such is life.
Heaven blinks for a minute before saying, "Wait, you're wearing that liquid bronze?"
Yes, I figured. Well, why not? It's it's a lot less cumbersome than ordinary armor, and
Yeah.
despite how a little uncomfortable it is, I still appreciate that it's offering me a great deal more defense than my usual attire.
Heaven cringes. I must be uncomfortable with all that fur.
I'll learn to live with it. But anyway, good morning, Heaven. How are you today?
Well, CeeLo's helping me with a nightmare I've been having, and she's still working on it, so I don't want to wake her. I came by to let you know that A, I'm going to see if the temple is open today and get some answers for something of mine, and B, press that you don't wake CeeLo unless she is in trouble or ready to wake up.
Very well then. Well, do stay. Well, do be vigilant, and be sure to come back soon, because remember, we are taking a trip to the bathhouse today.
Heaven nods. Yeah, I just need to handle this. Could you inform Rudy of the situation, and then I'll meet you guys at the bathhouse?
I'll let her know. But again, just be careful. All right.
Heaven nods. I will. Take care.
All right then. Have a good day. See you there.
Heaven leaves and heads to the temple district and starts searching for some druids.
Well, wait. It's a little bit. Well, okay. So, Rajapotianus' religion. Well, go ahead and roll. Okay, Rajapotianus' religion is a little bit more to it. There's a little bit more to the differences than Heaven made it sound. You understand? Artun is still considered the dominant god there. Like, like all the other gods, like the Platinum Dragon and so on. It's like, oh yeah, he's there too. Like Artun is very much in the sort of forefront. So you don't actually know too much about the other gods. That being said, you do find at one of the temples is more of a garden than anything else. Else and you do just make your way there.
Are there any people there?
Uh, uh, Well, none that you can see. None that you can see upon entering. But of course, that could mean that someone is just out of sight.
Heaven is going to look around to see if she can find someone.
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll perception.
I see everything.
So, for fun, I'm going to roll this anyway. Okay, so yeah, that went about how you would expect. So, you barely step in when from behind you you hear clank, 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 clank.
I turn around and what do I see?
You see this lady walking like she's trying to sneak up on you. But the heavy plate armor is making it a bit difficult. You recognize this woman as a furbolg. Like the moment you turn around, she just like. Okay, so first of all, the claws are sheathed, so don't freak out. And like she just turns around, and is like, why do people keep noticing?
Perhaps it is because of the sound of the armor? Makes when you walk?
Yeah, but I like the armor. Well, whatever. Hello, my name is Felosio. What can I do for you?
Yes, I am looking for a druid. One that, specifically one that deals with dreams.
I am a cleric of the wild goddess, which is kind of like a druid. Dreams, you say? Like she, she, he said, she like looks there and ponders for a bit. Well, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'm afraid that dreams are not actually a specialty of ours here. That, but that being, yeah, if you want to find a proper druid of that sort, you'd have to go out into the wilds.
Heaven just sighs.
I'm sorry.
Huh? Well, if fate wanted this to be easy. But thanks anyway.
No problem. Care for some tea?
Heaven just shrugs her shoulder. Might as well. I'm not meeting my companions for a few minutes. How long do I have until we have to be at the bathhouse before Rudy goes on a rampage to find me?
I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's see if you who can. I don't remember the time. I think she said 10 o'clock sharp, and it's like 7 at this point, so you've got time.
Yeah, it was 10 o'clock sharp. Yeah.
All right. Heaven just shrugs her. 1 or 2 cups should be fine.
Let's see if she's better at brewing than she is at sneaking. That's a 10.
I smell dirt.
And here you go. All natural tea.
All natural what?
Tea.
Oh, I thought you said all natural bee. I'm like, this tea's
No.
made of bees?
I mean, do you say that out loud?
No, that was out of character.
Oh. That's deeply disappointing, but okay. So, so you taste it and it's all right. It wakes you up.
Does she say anything?
And so, if I may ask, what, I mean, I know I said dreams aren't my specialty, but, well, what exactly is your problem? Maybe I can make a vaguely educated guess to help you.
Heaven thinks for a moment before shrugging her shoulders again. Well, first, I'm from Rosa Patianos. So our pantheon is pretty different over there. Then she goes on to explaining the pantheon and her nightmare and Silo's prediction.
I'm gonna roll a wisdom check for this lady. Yeah, like, hey, yeah, like you're beginning, like, roll insight.
All right. Here it is.
Well, for a second. Whoa, nah. Well, you're beginning to get the sense that, she actually, she actually rolled a nat 20 on her wisdom check. So,
What a switch.
yeah, like, I was about to say that you were beginning to get the sense that at the clergy of Alar are not great thinkers in general. Yeah, like they represent the earthy side of nature. They're not like But this one, you know, there is a dream like that. There is, there is. I do know one guy who might be able to help you. He does live pretty far away from the city, though, to the north.
Heaven is intrigued. Who is he? Where does he reside?
He lives within the Foveros forest. It's a rather exciting little forest filled with fae.
All right.
But
Sorry, I had a cough.
you'll also meet the occasional druid in there, and this one in particular is known for, well, he does all kinds of weird shit with dreams. Names I've even seen him use them to heal people, like literally heal people of diseases. Can't explain it.
Heaven is boggled at this. Dreams to heal you?
Don't ask me. I don't.
What does he do?
I have no idea how it works.
Does he?
Like, we've had.
Would he hurt people with nightmares?
I've never heard of him doing anything like that. But I imagine he maybe could.
Well, it was a rhetorical question anyway. But if you think this guy, could help, maybe I can convince my party to head into this wild.
I mean,
Hello?
I should mention that the Fulveris forest can be quite dangerous. Fae love to play with people.
Well, we've dealt with an entire day of a grueling licensing test, followed by an ungodly long, like a nearly 2-day battle against the undead the previous day. That happened here in this.
I've heard. Caught up in the little breakout. Were you? Well, I mean, then I'm good. Well, I'm going to be honest. It's a different kind of danger. Like, people who wander in don't often do not come out. Kind of danger.
Heaven thinks for a moment. Is there any way to get through this safely?
I mean, if there is, I do not know it. I mean, this is,
I may have to ask Rudy and CeeLo.
yeah, Fae. Yeah, you must understand the Fae folk. They will not tear you or rend you like the undead would. No, they will play tricks on you, lure you into traps.
What about charming the Fae? Is it possible to charm them?
The Fae would much rather charm you.
No, I mean not like charm, like using a spell, but be charismatic,
Uh,
entertain without the use of tricks.
they do tend to act like children, so I suppose that could work. I'm going to be honest. We have very much left my area of expertise behind. You want me to know how to intimidate predators, or you want to know how to intimidate predators, or tell that different kinds of trees are? That I can do. So dealing with Fae, not so much.
Well, at least you're helpful. I gotta say, for a temple, it's practically dead. There's nobody here except you and me.
Well, it is very early in the morning.
But I thought priests and priestesses were early risers. At least that's what they are back home.
I mean, well, I mean, what priests do you have experience with?
Well, I'm a dancer. We do have priests that worship our various gods. They are responsible for out of character. Do they do mummification?
Yes, although I'm not sure. Yes, although I'm not sure, Heaven would actually know about that, because as like that's something that only happens to like the highest of the high. I've worn.
They do certain specific rituals for those of the higher caste.
Yeah, like,
and they handle things like funerals, weddings.
Okay, but I mean, well, I mean, I guess, well, different different gods have different disciplines. Like she gestures at like the most at the big, most magnificent in one. And the biggest, most magnificent temple at the end, at like the center of the plaza. The priests of the Platinum Dragon act very much like you say, like strict regimens, all that stuff. Then she gestures to one next to it with a picture of a silver dragon on it. Those of Savessa, well, I don't think they ever sleep. They just stay through the night creating because they're maniacs. Here, rise when you wish, sleep when you wish, eat when you wish. That is nature's way.
If that's the case, where are they?
You would not do well to disturb them in the middle of their work.
Right. But I gotta be honest, I don't really know much about the religion of my people. I mean, there's some like small things we know, but big things is
you know enough to perform your duties to your gods. That's how it is with most places.
exactly. Exactly.
Well, here, among Alar, at least we are on nature time.
Heaven and thanks for a moment. Since you're of the nature, mind if I ask you a question regarding nature?
Shoot.
Is it
Like, she,
possible?
like, sits up way more attentive at this.
Okay, so I explained that there's a 100-year drought going on in Rosa Pasianos. Is it
That's,
would it be considered a natural drought, or would it be magically made?
I would not know without further study, but well, so far from what you said, it sounds like a good old-fashioned case of climate change to me.
But we haven't done anything to cause climate change. At least as far as I know.
Well,
It's
I
weird.
mean,
My city lives on the sea, but I've heard stories that there used to be water all over the place in Rosa Patianos, from rivers of fresh water to oases. But now
I
it's
mean,
now it is completely dry, and we have to buy our water in order to survive.
buying enough water for an entire nation. What that might cost you?
Well, first it usually depends on your caste.
Uh,
The higher
uh,
you go ahead.
Nothing. Go on.
The more money you have, the more gallons of water you have. My family is lower middle class, and we have enough for like one jug of fresh water per month. And that's with all of our money pulled together.
Hmm.
We can't grow crops because of the heat. We can't even make do any irrigation in order to farm crop. In fact, I remember um I remember my mother telling me that the kingdom relied on the flooding of the rivers in order to have the land be fertile. But there hasn't been any flooding in a century. And I've never seen a raindrop until I left Rozapatianos.
I see. Well, like she's not. She's just like nodding along and just like, yeah, I got nothing.
Well,
Sorry.
that's fine. Um, I mean, even just talk to your colleagues, and if you can find like a solution that'll give us even water temporarily without us having to pay an arm and a leg for
Um,
even just a fat.
just a real quick heads up, Redwood, you've got about an hour left.
I know.
Yeah, I'm trying to close this. Anyway, if you can find anything and send a message to the Pharaoh on that, explaining that I I asked for additional aid for the city, I would be very much grateful.
I will see what I can. I will see what I can do. Once everyone else is up. Yeah. Now, excuse me. If it is actually time to, I'm to conduct one of my daily rituals, if I may. And
Yeah.
she stands up, up and starts walking off towards a rather large mushroom patch.
Oh boy. The implications. Heaven just waves farewell and heads off to the bathhouse.
Well, you don't know where the bathhouse is. You head back to the apartment.
Oh, I thought I'd ask for directions, but okay.
I mean, like, the bathhouse is like that's like that's like going into a city and asking where is the gas station.
All right, I'll head back to the apartment then.
Yeah. So, and so before we go any further, Neku, Eku, how do you like your priesthood?
I like that you implemented drugs because that's something Alar has done in the past. I'm glad that tradition is still upheld.
Yeah, like I did my best to make them very laid back, sort of. There will be weed in the afternoon.
Anyway. So yeah, everyone's I'd assume everyone is awake and we're all together now, yeah?
Well, there's still CeeLo.
Is CeeLo awake?
I assume Sila would be awake, yes.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, if nothing else, Rudy would have woken you by force by now.
Alright, so are we all ready to go?
Heaven returns and notice CeeLo is up. Morning. Did you get what you needed?
Sadly, no, but we'll try again another time. Regardless, here's your necklace back for now.
Heaven takes the necklace and puts it in her pouch. All right, I'll lend it to you again tomorrow night.
Okay.
So Rudy, where's this bathhouse you were looking at?
All right. So Rudy, who has been sitting in a chair the entire time this has been going on, because Rudy is an elf and they don't sleep, will stand up and start walking, leading them towards the bathhouse.
You this be a public bath, as you understand. So, do you want something very high class and luxury, or do you want to get down out in the dirt?
Let me just check something, because last I remember, you don't really give us a lot of money. So. Yeah, just something low class. We can't really afford anything better.
You don't need to worry about that for too long. Never mind. So you head into the entertainment district. I'm gonna put you around here, and you find a pretty decent looking one, and near the city walls.
All right, we'll enter.
Right. Yes. And as you head in, you notice it's a very it's reasonably this is a public bathhouse, so you don't actually need to pay a ton. So it's actually not super expensive. It's like a silver each for admittance.
Rudy
How
will
much
turn
exactly?
and look to everyone. Is there anyone who cannot afford it?
I'm pretty sure I can afford it.
I'm pretty much can afford it.
Oh, I'm so hard for.
Yeah.
Sealer?
Again,
Would you please roll a deception if you are indeed trying to deceive Rudy?
Okay.
Yeah, I thought so.
So,
Rudy will
honestly-
just...
like Rudy honestly does seem like the kind of person who would need an inside check to understand sarcasm.
Okay, so after you say that, Rudy just stares at you for a long moment and then turns and starts walking inside, putting down her silver piece and just says, "Too bad then."
This is basically not on like a public pool, a public pool in terms of like how much it costs.
Yes, you know.
All right, so 1 silver piece, yeah.
Yeah, remember to subtract it.
All right.
Scylla sighs sadly and just places down her silver piece.
Talos places down a silver piece as he walks in.
Same with Heaven.
Now, I couldn't find. I couldn't find a bathhouse map that I like, so we're gonna have to make do with Theater of the Mind. And in this one,
You can use the one that I made for Fuller's Mayhem. Should still be in the archives.
doesn't look anything like what I'm envisioning, but honestly, it'll do.
I mean, it's better than no map.
Right, so there's no dragon here. And to see there. So and okay, so it's an open area, like it's basically just like this big square building with like the center area open to the sky. There's like a couple of like a fairly bored, probably underpaid 8 to 10, and then it's like just minimum wage age workers just like waiting there like a lifeguard.
A lifeguard.
Required by law. It's enough to technically qualify.
It's a weird law, even for me.
But the water is clean and steamy, and yeah. So Talos, I assume you like get in the water.
Yeah.
As you do, the bronze metal that's like covering your fur actually retreats from the water. They're like like slides up along on your fur, and eventually just like okay. Basically, like it just tries to avoid the water. Basically,
Never thought well, you're not supposed to be taking a dip in armor anyway, so give me a moment. And he takes the jug where the liquid bronze skin comes from and just kind of sets it aside with the rest of his equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as he's doing that, Heaven just strips completely and sits in the water bare ass naked.
This was a good call, Rudy. Thank you very much for this.
Rudy, of course, is sitting on a bench nearby and has opened a book and is already completely not listening. Huh? Oh, right, yeah. Have fun.
Of course. Well,
And you need Rudy. You need to press digitation every once in a while just to keep the pages from getting damp from all the steam.
Yeah, she's done this before, like, bam, moisture is gone.
No moisture.
But how are you girls enjoying it?
Heaven is just kicked back and her legs are crossed, so she decides to tease Talos a bit. Pretty relaxing, though. I'm surprised that a noble paladin such as yourself is comfortable at around unclothed women.
Please.
I thought
Please.
I thought you'd be stuttering by now, or at least turning a shade of red. And
You're kidding? You think Rudy ever cared if he saw her getting undressed to bathe in the nearby river or whatever?
yeah, this
So,
was
yeah.
a joke for Talos.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm just telling Talos this. You
Yeah.
really think Rudy would
But-
have? No. Continue.
Yeah. I mean, she's got a point, But yeah, Talos just like he laughs. Well, you are a very beautiful woman, Miss Heaven. I do have to say that, but believe me when I say I'm not so easily flustered.
Oh, and I thought you were. And then she flirtatiously winks playfully.
Seela,
Is there?
I require your dragon.
He's flying above you already.
Thank you.
Is
Rudy
this-
just reaches up and grabs it and then says, "Can you make fire?"
Make fire? Hope looks confused at this.
Pseudo dragons breathe fire.
They do?
They do not.
Okay, I didn't think they did.
Yeah.
You are useless to me. Go and have a bath. And Rudy just casually, pushes it towards the water and then goes back to reading.
Hope looks so hurt by that.
You have betrayed him.
You just they just despondently just sort of edge into the bath.
Oh, that's
It's like
okay.
a sad dog.
Oh, that's okay. But yeah, Heaven's wink, and he, of course, Talos just takes it in stride, and he says, "Miss Heaven, you're playing with fire. I hope you know that."
I'm a desert. Playing with fire is basically a everyday thing.
Well, you're not lacking for spirit. I'll say that much. How about you, CeeLo? You enjoying the heat?
Water is very nice. I'll say it's good to have them relax for a little bit.
Certainly. I feel as though I've been traveling non-stop, and the only times where I can relax is just for basic hygiene. And again, perhaps that says more about my frame of mind over the past year than anything else.
You travel along a lot of places, haven't you?
I certainly have, long before I met Rudy, I'll say that much.
How did you meet Rudy anyway?
Well, he looks over to Rudy and says, "There's not really much to say. She was in the corner of a tavern I visited one day for a bit of rest and relaxation,
You
or
wouldn't
as
leave
much
me
as you
alone.
can." I guess that's one way to put it, yes. I made the argument to her that we would be much safer traveling together, and she would be, well, safer traveling with me, so, we decided beneficial relationship.
I wanted to see how long he'd last before he died.
And I'm fairly certain I've completely blown away her expectations so far.
Remains to be seen. You haven't died yet.
Well, I'm hoping to keep that record going.
Heaven looks to Rudy. You know, for someone who was eager to go to the bathhouse, I'm surprised you're not joining us, Rudy.
No.
I'm guessing reading is how you relax.
Reading is how I learn. You cannot read in water.
Well, that's true. Though, apart from Talos, Tilo and I really don't know much about you. Like, where are you from? How did you come to be interested in magic?
It was part of my training.
Heaven notices that Rudy skipped the question about where she's from, but doesn't say anything.
To each their own on that. Every origin is always different from the last. And that's
Heaven,
just how it is.
Heaven thinks for a moment before she remembered what the conversation at the temple. Actually, there's something I need to discuss with all of you. Part of that involves why I'm traveling in the first place. CeeLo already knows,
Well-
but I
Well,
But,
I'm sure we can discuss it further. But for now, let's leave our worries at the door and just simply enjoy each other's company.
well,
We've rarely had the chance to.
mind if I ask just one last question before doing so? Do
I suppose not.
do any of you know how to deal with Fey folk?
You don't.
Thela looks hurt by this.
I mean
CeeLo?
it in jest, CeeLo.
I mean, suppose you have to get somewhere and there's a bunch of Fey blocking your path. Any ideas on how to get by them?
The truth of the matter is, I wouldn't really know, unfortunately.
What about you two? CeeLo and Rudy.
Payfuck are a tricky time, I would know. Otherwise, most of the satyrs moved out. Although I don't know other than that. I've never met one besides a centaur and a satyr.
A centaur and a satyr walk into a room, and CeeLo was born.
Thela flicks some water on the book.
Rudy narrows her eyes to pinpricks.
Heaven trying to keep Rudy from vaporizing CeeLo.
Speaking of playing with fire.
Yeah. But yes, I got a lead on how to deal with my dream, but I need to go through a Fey forest in order to find the individual who could possibly interpret a dream.
Whew.
What was his name again, DM?
And you never got his name.
No, boy.
A druid at the temple. She told me that there isn't anyone there who can deal with dreams. And she was a nature druid. But she told me of
Nature cleric. She's a nature cleric.
Oh, nature cleric. But she told me of an individual that lives past these woods where the Fae live. Says
near the center of them, which is way more of a problem.
near the center of this forest that is full of fae, and apparently he can do all sorts of things with dreams, from interpreting them to healing people with them. And don't ask me how he does it. Not even the cleric I talked to knew. But
All right, and going off of that, assuming you wish for us to sit down and discuss whether or not we can take you through that forest and deal with the Fey folk.
I wouldn't ask this if it wasn't important.
Well, as I said, we can discuss that later. I am inclined to help you, but for now, for today, or at least the next couple of days, let us allow ourselves to just rest, to recuperate, and to just enjoy our time.
As Tyler's going through his monologue, Scylla splashes water too.
Could you repeat that? You cut out.
As Talos was doing his monologue, Scylla will splash water on him too.
He does flinch at that, and he just looks at her.
All right. Yeah, I am going to cast. Rudy is going to take out a crumpled piece of paper that she was likely going to burn but couldn't, and is going to cast a Featherfall on it, and then look to CeeLo and then say, "Here, catch," and throw it.
What? I'm very confused what this is going to happen
She
here.
cast Featherfall on a crumpled piece of paper and then threw it at you. So now it's slowly floating up, and then it's gonna slowly float down.
CeeLo blinks a bit and goes and catches the paper.
And while she's doing that, Talos stands up to his full height, gets a hand ready, and just splashes CeeLo.
CeeLo is
I
now
sure
covered
hope
in
that-
water.
I sure hope there wasn't anything written on that paper.
I guess we'll never know now.
Really, the mystery is gone for the ages.
CeeLo
Anyway,
looks to the ruined pieces of paper and just like sighs.
now you will
Having
never
cast
know.
prestidigitation.
That knowledge is
Having
forever gone.
cast
Sorry.
Having cast prestidigitation on the paper to try it. And I get that?
Yeah, we
No,
get
you're
it,
good.
but the paper's completely soaked, and any ink that was on it would have, washed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, was there anything written on it? By the way, because if there was, you'd be able to tell. You'd be able to tell there was something, because the ink would be staining everything.
Yeah, there was something written on it, and Rudy is simply saying, "It appears that knowledge is gone forever. Now you'll never know what was written on that piece of paper."
CeeLo looks a little sad from this, and she goes back and down to the water.
You can sense the smug satisfaction from Rudy.
Come on, CeeLo. No, don't be so down.
It's alright.
It is normal
Uh,
fear. It is alright, Talos. CeeLo is very used to not knowing things.
Telos wades up over to CeeLo and he says, "You okay?"
CeeLo just pauses for a minute, and she still looks really down in general. She just nods.
Would you like me to carry you around a little bit?
No. I got hope for that. No, that's all she's gonna explain on that.
I'm
Well-
going to use Mage Hand to lift up a hand of water and splash CeeLo with the hand, invisible hand, because I'm pretty sure Mage Hand is invisible, isn't it? No, that's a subclass. So yeah, it just a random hand comes out of the water and splashes you and then vanishes.
CeeLo huffs. She's now looking more annoyed and wet.
Talos just kind of gives her an honest smile and wraps an arm around her.
You know, when I get stronger, I will be able to make the heavens rain on you, instead of just a single hand splashing you. I will have my revenge one day, CeeLo.
I felt like you already had it today.
I am not done. Not until you feel the pain of 1,000 deaths.
I'll be waiting for that day then, I guess.
I'm glad to see you two are getting along.
I am not getting along. I am manufacturing a new mortal enemy.
Well, what is a mortal enemy but your best friend in different terms?
I do not have friends. They are illogical.
Ouch. Sucks to be you, Talos.
He just shrugs.
And
We
When
are
you-
allies. Nothing more, nothing less.
I know, Rudy, I know.
When you lose a friend, let me know. Then maybe we can
All
relate
right,
this-
children. Let's just stay low. Let's just relax, okay? That's what we're here for.
I am relaxing. And Rudy closes the book and just heads out of the room.
Heaven just shakes her head and sighs. Before resuming her relaxation.
Well, would you like me to get you anything, CeeLo?
No. I'm good.
Well, you know we're right here for you if you need it.
I'll be fine. And CeeLo actually leaves the room for a little bit following Rudy.
Alright, we follow her and find her just at a small food stand looking over the food with with the expression of someone deciding what they want to eat for today.
Rudy,
Yes, CeeLo?
are you gonna come back with us?
Yes, I am just hungry. I'm going to get some food. Do you require anything?
CeeLo pauses as she thinks for a minute. I'll say I do.
They have these things called fries, whatever those are. I believe they're diced potatoes or something. They also have some fish. Gave it a weird name, fish and chips. What a bloody what a racket. What do you want? They've got some crunch chicken or whatever.
Sela shakes her head. I know you're not the best with words, and neither am I, really, because I've been mainly alone for most of my life. I just wanted to relate to you a little bit more.
Rudy will briefly glance to Silo and then say, if I didn't enjoy your company, I would not speak to you.
I know. It's just how people are, and sometimes it's how they joke and others, and I'm sorry, I'm not really good with this. So, why don't we make a bet then?
What sort of bet?
If I were to perish first, you owe me, well, no, I owe you 50 gold.
And if I should perish first?
You tell me what's in that letter.
Rudy will pay for her meal and also shove another meal into Silo's hand and begin to head back towards the bathhouse. Before she says with her back to Silo as she's, heading back inside, she simply says, "It said Silo sucks."
That would have been a funny way of saying that in your deathbed. Sela just comments.
I have no mistakes about my own mortality. I am a wizard. It is only logical that I will become deceased before you.
You think so, then?
I'll eat your goddamn
Or-
fries. And with a brief glance back and the various twitch of the mouth into a smile, Rudy moves back inside and has gone a moment later as she sits down and just quietly nibbles, almost like, like a little mouse, grabbing it, nibbling it, and grabbing another bit and nibbling it. And Heaven and Talos, you see Rudy come back inside with the same monotone expression and study.
Talos knows that he just kind of gives a smile, and I looked at Heaven that just sort of says, "See, I told you."
Sela motions up to sit next to Rudy as she goes back into the water after eating up her food rather quickly.
You are supposed to wait 30 minutes before swimming.
Are you the law today, or are you on break?
They did not take away my deputization, so I am still the law.
Oh yes, that's right. Well, that'll be entertaining.
And at that, Rudy briefly grins. Like a full face, shit-eating grin. Before it vanishes and she simply finishes her food and goes back to reading.
Heaven whispers to Talos, "Now that's a rare sight."
Yes, it's very rare indeed, but, well, when she smiles, it lights up the room. it really is just a sign that, well, she really is happy where she is.
Sheila just pouts and she sits down on like the edge, not in the water, and she just watches, munching
I
on her
understand.
fries.
I understand. I understand.
Damn law telling me what to do.
I am
But
the law.
you see, Heaven. But you see, Heaven. No need to worry.
Well, as long as they don't kill each other.
Well, I would make sure that wouldn't happen.
Killing isn't very logical. I have one less body in front of me to protect me.
You see?
Heaven just sweat drops and just, I am getting out of this before I end up somewhere too deep for me to get out. And goes back to relaxing.
You better not mean Hope. He only has so many extra lives.
Or maybe if you earned more money with your fortune telling, you'd have more.
I'm still paying off those bills.
What bills?
I owe the markets a lot of money.
A
How
lot.
much money?
40 gold.
40 gold? What in the world did you do to get a debt of 40 gold?
Booth fees. You guys do understand that it takes money to actually run a booth, right? That is classic merchant 101.
Well, to be fair, I mostly just lived off the land until such time I met all of you.
I'm a bard. I always work for my money. But I didn't think your fees would be 40 gold.
Oh, it wasn't all at once. It was collective. I just never paid it.
Oh, a tab skipper.
I am not. I just choose not to pay it.
Interesting theology.
Do you need help paying your bills before we set off on any more adventures?
Oh goodness, no. Unless they caught me, I'm not going to pay for it. It's like tax evasion.
Yeah, and you get arrested for tax evasion.
I don't even know what that is.
That's when you don't pay for something.
So theft.
Essentially.
Oh, I'm definitely not a theft. I will not give a penny to this government.
Essentially,
one
it
of the-
is stealing, yes. So we have had 2 thieves in the party this entire time.
Could be cultists.
Yes, you could all be cultists. And this could all be a master plan to slowly bring me towards where your main camp is and willingly give myself in. And then get myself killed while you are all laughing. I am very aware of that. She
That
turns
is-
the page.
Jeez, whatever these cultists did must have really warped you pretty good.
They want me dead.
You know, you have any idea why they want you dead?
Nope.
Another mystery to solve.
They put me on a table. And then I escaped. With the help of
On a-
someone. I don't know who.
A table? You mean like experiments?
No, a sacrificial table.
Oh. Well,
Yes, of course, they were taking me out to dinner. What else would it be?
No.
Focus.
Yeah, out of character. I was thinking like, dissection.
Silo munches on her fries. Dinner would be nice too.
Get your own goddamn dinner.
I did entertain this tavern nearby that has some pretty good drinks. Maybe we should try the food there.
It's possible. We could certainly go there to round out the day up after we're finished with the bathhouse. Actually, that reminds me. A few months ago, before I ran into Rudy, I actually had the chance to dine a little with someone that I met.
Oh?
Oh yes, it was more for show really than anything, but I have to say, for one of the first experience I have ever had eating in a diner, it was certainly interesting.
Well, this place is more of a tavern, and the the owner of the tavern is a warforge.
And what exactly is that?
Being made purely of metal. Almost as emotionless as Rudy.
Yeah,
And
that certainly is interesting.
yes, but they are their own beings too. And they're very shiny. And surprisingly, this one that I met, not only did she own a tavern, but she made a pretty good drink too.
Well, I guess we could. Well, like I said, I guess we could go there to round out the day.
Silo pokes a fry on Rudy's cheek. You want to go then?
Poke me again, and I will shove you into the water.
She eats the fry instead and just grins. That sounds like a yes.
No answer.
Well, I suppose we have a plan then.
Click, click, click.
I have to say though, Heaven, your boldness is certainly striking. Is this common where you come from?
Well, baths are pretty rare at the moment due to water rationing. But I have no shame. If I'm relaxed, dressed as I am, then why not? Why should I worry about, exposing myself? Besides, it's fun to tease others when they are stammering at me.
Well, perhaps I should give it a try sometime. See what reactions I get.
Wait, are you saying you're in the bath with your armor on?
No, obviously not. Out of character, Talos probably grabbed just like one of the available robes that these sorts of houses would have.
They're
Oh,
kind of like bath towel. It's kind of like towels.
Ah. Yeah, Heaven's just in a buff.
But yeah, Talos says, maybe I'll give it a shot and see.
Heaven just snickers. I'm not one who sleeps around, but I'm curious about what a lineman looks like without his clothes on.
Well, I'm sure.
She's trying to tease him.
You hear a long wrong side from Rudy.
Wait, what did you say?
You're alongside from Rudy.
Oh,
Here, Talos just laugh. Well, yeah, Talos just laughs at that. And well, I'm sure there's no shortage of fiction, if from what I've heard is any indication.
they must be quite steamy.
I'm leaving. Rudy walks out.
Heaven just chugs. Some puns work, some don't.
I don't get it.
My, Heaven giggles. My, you must be innocent.
Oh, far from innocent.
I mean, that was an innuendo.
Oh. Talos just kind of shrugs at that. Fair enough. But I believe Rudy does have a point. We shouldn't stay too long, otherwise we risk doing a bit of damage to ourselves. I'm sure. I have heard that such thing as what was it? Heat stroke is a thing.
Might as well. I'm probably giving the other patrons heart attacks.
Woodward, please, we can hear you clicking. It's really, I'm sorry.
Anyway, so we both get out, Heaven gets dressed.
And yeah, I will say just still playing along a little. Talos does give a Heaven a wink as he gets up and gets dressed as well.
Wait, you were just in your tunic, right?
Yeah, but he's playing along with the whole thing that she's been doing.
Ah. Okay, can I roll insight on Talos to know if he gets the joke or not?
Go ahead.
Okay.
You think he's just playing along because he wants to feel included? You get the sense he doesn't really. You get the sense he doesn't really know any of what you're doing.
Evan just shakes her head, chuckles. This is gonna be fun.
Oh, you ready to go, CeeLo?
Yep, I'm already out.
All right, and is Hope ready?
Hope's always on me, if not on Rudy.
All right then. And I'd say we've finished up our time in the bathhouse. And he says, "All right, Rudy, we're done."
And Heaven will show the way to the tavern she mentioned.
Alright. Rudy follows in the same monotone expression she normally wears.
Okay. And then you make your way quite a ways across town to the Mended Drum.
I thought the Mended Drum was in the entertainment district.
No,
Yeah.
it is in the merchant district.
Oh, because I thought you had me over there to... Okay, I'm confused. I thought the Mended Drum was in the entertainment district, but anyway.
Oh well, at least it's not too far from home.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Like there are most of the better eateries in town are in the entertainment district. This one this one is not, and you're not really sure why that is. So, when you all walk in, you see Amathea still basically in the same position behind the bar that that Heaven saw her last.
Heaven hails her. Greetings, Amathea.
Oh, hello, Heaven.
We're customers today.
Now,
Unless
understand day drinking then.
unless you need me for a job, then yes.
And by all means, take a seat.
So this is a Warforge.
Like, well, go ahead. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll history. Tell us.
All right, give me a minute. Where is it? Here we go.
Ah, that's very shiny.
Very shiny.
Yeah.
Shiny words goes burr. All right. So like walks over and puts her hands on the counter. Give me your strongest drink that's within a goal.
Sorry, out of character. Your strongest drink that what?
That's within a gold.
And most of my drinks are within a gold. Let me see. I had them all listed somewhere. I can't seem. I had all the drink stuff listed somewhere. I can't seem to find it at the moment. Hey, like so she pulled like so. So Amathea just pulls out an unmarked bottle full of an unlabeled bottle full of a green liquid.
Oh my god.
CeeLo greatly take it and not even look at the as she tries to drink it.
So that's absinthe. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
You gotta have a high. You gotta have a high con for that stuff.
It's absinthe.
You're tipsy already.
Oh, this hit the spot.
Heaven just shakes her head, trying to hold in a laugh, and says, "I'll have the special drink of the day."
Special. And Amathea actually heads over to one of the middle shelves and pulls out what's clearly a bottle of red wine. And Rudy, you actually recognize the make of this one. It is and this red wine is made in the Dominion.
Rudy's
she had to step away. She got a headache.
Oh.
She says she'll be right back.
Right. Well, she gives you she gives you red wine.
All right. That's a gold, or how much?
And for each of the drinks so far, it's going to be 5 silver.
Well, okay, so
There we
Yeah,
go.
like again, like she's like everything she has seems weirdly inexpensive to you. For how high class some of it is.
I drink the wine. My constitution is. I am not even.
I'll say Talos sees this. He says, I'd like to have a glass of what heaven is having.
What?
Okay, you two get a glass of red wine.
And I already rolled a con save.
Not for red wine, not yet. You'd have to drink a lot more of that before I'd make you roll a con save.
Oh, all right.
All right, Rudy's back.
Okay. Hey, Rudy, you actually, the red wine that Amathea is pouring for the others, you actually recognize as it. The person making it, it is a very high class. I called the wine and made in the Belleville Dominion.
Alright. Rudy will stare at the wine for a bit and then say,
It is exceedingly strange to you that it's being sort of served at such a low price here.
how are you able to afford to serve that at such a low price? That's a very expensive wine.
I have my
was-
ways.
You're a cultist, aren't you?
If a robot can give you a blank look, that is what Amathea is giving you right now. She's like, what? Rudy, she's hiding something.
Oh. Rudy will just pay. You said it was a gold, didn't you?
5 silver.
Alright, well, I can't afford that, so Rudy's just going to get something cheap. Some water and just quietly sip it.
Okay, that'll be like a few copper.
Alright.
But yeah, Talos drinks the red wine. He says, "Well, that's certainly an interesting flavor."
Like, I'm not going to go into great detail describing it. It's red wine.
Honestly, all wine tastes the same, and wine tasters
It's
are
like-
making it. Because they did a
Yeah.
study with, some cheap wine and some expensive wine, and apparently the tasters couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah. Well, as you sit here at
yes.
about noon and just getting day drunk, this isn't necessarily the stopping point I had envisioned, but we are coming up on time, so I think. So, do you have anything else you want to do at this bar?
I will say, well, I do have one thing to close off on, if that's okay.
Okay.
Talos sort of, lightly raises his glass to everyone here, and he says to a very nice and relaxing day together, and to hopefully many fun and exciting adventures in the future.
I prefer less excitement, honestly.
Fair enough.
Here. To getting drunk until it drinks more of the drink.
I'm drinking water.
Fair enough.
Okay, Silo, roll one last Constitution save.
Hmm.
Yeah. By the way, Absinthe is DC 18. Just to make that clear. You are now definitely drunk, and and it's only noon. So, on that note, I think that's where we're going to end our session for this week.
Right.
All right.
Thank you all for tuning in. See you all next time. Bye bye.
But
See ya.